Welcome to the Jehovah Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
As I walk on this path of life, guided by the awesomeness insight. Every word, every line, every page I read, transforming my soul, planting a seed, embracing the wisdom of the ancient text. In every chapter, feeling blessed. The truth it unveils, the secrets it holds, connecting me to the universe's modes. Living in harmony, in peace and love. Light and shining from above. Oh, I spit, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. And every moment, creating my mark. Through trials and tribulations I stand tall. Watch these teachings breaking every wall. My spirit soaring, my heart.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money to get everything done.
I'm getting back on track. We should make a bunch of agents that work across our teams. My gaggle will automatically collect.
The essence of my being. Oh, I spit, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, I spit, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, I spit, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. A new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. Oh, the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Creating my mark. Oh, I spit, guiding me on. I spit, guiding me on. Oh.
Yup, right back like I left something. Your host with the mostest, burning like toast is. You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, you're knocking your nerve fresh off of that curve jelly, jam and preserve, Cosmonian. Huh? Cloud kicking himself, Anakwakaiki. So, this ain't even a show. Like, I'm coming through, chopping it up, just sharing some game with the fam. It's open season, man. Anybody got any topics they want to talk about, things they may want to pick over, bring to the forefront? You dig what I'm talking about? If you got some contention, or maybe you want some smoke with Cosmonian himself, maybe you need your clouds kicked out the sky early this morning. You dig what I'm talking about? You want to come up here and press the OG. You dig what I'm talking about? Come in and push your line. You dig what I'm saying? We ain't worried about no smoke. We take all contenders. You dig what I'm talking about? Irregardless of weight class or sexual orientation. You dig what I'm talking about? Male, female. You think you a male, think you a female, female, think you a male. So we don't duck no smoke. We will punch on you and your God all the same. Shout out to the ever-present creator, first of all, you know what I mean? The all that was, is, and ever shall be. First, last, quickener, the mover. The creator and destroyer. You dig what I'm talking about? The one that is named after the most essential thing on the planet. Air. The wind. Right? And yet, just like the air is unseen, felt, and necessary. For those who see what they call the creator in the cracks. Or what's misunderstood as the lightness, the light in the darkness. Also misunderstood as the darkness in the light. Those are all creative. The wise man knows that once he unfurls the creator in a thing, that is when he becomes wise to it. You see what I'm saying? For instance, you can't know how big you is till you figure out how small you are. You can't know how big you are till you realize how small you are. You don't never realize how small you are till you realize how big you can be. You know what I mean? A lot been going on in the world. You dig what I'm saying with these wars? They had the Ayatollah on today. Did y'all get to see the Ayatollah? What up, though? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You dig what I'm saying? Early in the morning. Shout out to the fam. I see the gang up in this thing. Creative gang, just me, Yapa, Tabitha up in this thing. My sister LaShonda. Shout out Sister Tikba up in this thing. Young Maccabee up in this thing. My big bro D up in here. RBG up in here. What's going on, bro? You dig what I'm talking about, man? Y'all sub, like, share, man. Share the live out to the folks, man. We just, we just chopping it up. Man, there's so much stuff going on. Y'all want to get into the Ayatollah, what he had to say about the United States government and how they playing their game? Obviously, this guy wasn't happy. The Ayatollah was not happy. You dig what I'm saying? And I also want to, we'll get into it probably a little later or something, but I've been noticing my Jewish brothers, they've been short-circuited. When people ask them these simple questions in, an attempt to prove their narrative, right? It don't match up with history. It don't match up with what's objective, what's axiomatic, what's factual. You dig what I'm talking about? They, for some reason, don't think they white folks. They don't understand that they're white Europeans. They really think they these Israelites. And when people, ask these common sense questions to them, man, they get it's just not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm starting to see some El Capitan. A lot of cap in your rap. You dig what I'm talking about? But let's get into some of this Ayatollah. You dig what I'm saying? Let's see what he talking about this morning. The Ayatollah, man. Y'all hit the like, thumb up video. He said, my question is, what she say? Just Tabitha say, my question is, how come Islam has different factions and it's the same God? Was there a separation in his kingdom? You got to understand Christianity, Buddhism, Brahmanism, Islam, their initial gods, Christ, Buddha, Brahma, Allah, have all been to hell. Okay? They've all been to hell already, and they're all, for the most part, redeemed. The people, in fact, what we're seeing today are factions of offshoots of Islam and all, and you know, such. This is how you get a Shia and a Sunni, right? It's an offshoot that was around before, you know, or during, since the time of the you know, the wars where revolution was going on inside the religion itself, excuse me, where revolution was going on inside the religion itself. These are times, it seems, that the lesser lords of certain gods were setting up their own little kingdoms. For instance, out of Luamang, you get your Protestant church, right? Out of the Protestants, you get your you know, you get your Catholics, your Methodists, your Episcopalians. You dig what I'm saying? You get these different variations on Christianity. Each one of them is, in a sense, its own kingdom with its own false god at its head, right? There is totally a separation. We should actually, that's a good question. I could get into the actual God of Islam today. Be cool, Kill Switch. Too early in the morning. Too early in the morning for some dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Go clean your yard, sir. So we see these splits in this thing because I should, why not? Let me see. Let me go up in here. Let me see what I got on deck. Or do I gotta go into my other files? Hopefully I ain't gotta go into my other files. We can go into, let me see. Hold on, let me throw a little something in the back real quick. Hold on, let me throw something in the back. Okay. We'll get to the Ayatollah. The sister asked something today. Now, I would just tell it. Hold on, let me turn that down just a little bit. I would just tell it to you. You dig what I'm talking about, and show you where to go get it. And I will drop the book in the chat. But let me see if I'm in the right drive real quick. Let me see if I'm in the right drive. PDFs. Okay, I gotta go out of here. 1 second. It's the wrong one. All right, let me show y'all this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Where am I? Okay. I'm trying to get this thing. Okay. All right, let's get into the sis question real quick. Let's get into the sis question real quick. She asks, how come Islam has different factions and it's the same God? Because it's not the same God. Right? This is what you got to understand. Even though we commonly call it Islam, right? You even see factions in between. These are not only breaks in ideologies and doctrines, it's a separation of the initial God, right? Now they play like one is, one Allah, and all that, and others the other one, and it's purportedly the same God when in fact it's not. And the same thing happens between Christianity and Islam, especially when Islamic's God is claiming that it is the God that inspired Abraham, Israel, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? So that conflation happens even between religions. But we're going to find out that it's not the same God. Luamong, Kabbalactus, Enochisa, and Gabriel, Thoth Gabriel, or Allah, they've already been to hell, been redeemed, and working to get themselves back together. But they little homies picked up where they left off. Right? And then lead us into 2 world wars. World War I and II, using their inspiration. Right? That's how you say it. Okay. Let's look up here real fast. Now they're talking about light. This is from the sun rays, radiance from the Elohist. This is in a what do you call it? Some medium work being done with some high ray spirits, and the spirit that came through and is talking right now is the spirit of the ancient god Osiris. That's right, aka Chilemong himself. You can't ask an Egyptian to give you any writings, whether real or not, for mediumship or whatever, in the 80s and 90s about their God. If I ask what is their God doing today, their God is in a sense dead to them. All right? Because he's not doing anything. He's useless, powerless. You dig what I'm saying? Funny that the Faithists got real word on what's going on with Osiris today. All right? And this is hinting back towards what I was showing you, that many of these false gods that we have actually of today are remnants of the false gods that we've been had. As a matter of fact, many of them come directly from one of the false gods themselves. Watch this. And this is where they break off and start to do their own little thing. Right? Now, remind you, this is Osiris speaking. Those of you who understand the principles and unique qualities of the Cosmon era can appreciate the significance of the different nature of the false kingdoms that plague us and hamper us in our efforts at this time. Now, remember this in the 1900s, this is 1984, 86 at the time. Unlike eras past, in which a few vast and powerful usurpers of power plagued the lower heavens, in this era, listen to us, in this era, we have great numbers of very small factions which appear, proliferate, and subdivide, much like small, hold on, let me go down, much like small brush fires that flare almost without warning after the major blaze has been extinguished. These small kingdoms, Buddhist, like AME Church, Catholic Church, Kojic, these little splits. It's only supposed to be one Christianity, right? It's only one Christ, right? But every one of the, even Mormonism, even the Church of Latter-day Saints, all of them claiming that they have the true Christ. Why? Because these little small kingdoms pop up out of the falling of the old ones. And they flare almost without warning after the major blaze has been extinguished. These small kingdoms have been appearing in greater and greater numbers since the blaze of my kingdom. His kingdom fell in 1553 BC. And others like it were extinguished at the end of the last era. That's 1848. I mean, the end of the last era. That's the Archabon, 1553 BC. Now we coming up to 1848, right? Cosmon era, right? Only, listen, these small kingdoms have been appearing in greater and greater numbers since the blaze of my kingdom and others like it were extinguished at the end of the last era, or at the end of the Arcaspita, beginning of the Archabon, only to be supplanted by small brush fires, right? Later on, called Payad. Payad is the god of the Mormons and the Latter-day Saints. Or Sayawan. Sayawan is the god of Swedenborg. He's also the god of the Protestants. He's the god of the Universalist. He's the god of the Aquarian gospel too. His name is Sayawan. This is the guy right here. Sayawan is who inspired Swedenborg. Payad is who inspired Joseph Smith, of the Mormons. Now, let's read it down. Let's go back down a little bit. Now, the importance of this condition in the light of this new era is that they are easier to subdue when the Etherian forces are brought into play, as they will be in a very short time. Our major object at this moment, as it has been for the past century, is to see that these numerous annoyances, he called the religion's annoyances, do not create too much mischief and impair the progress of our operations, and to attempt to clear and prevent the reformation of the numerous knots that have been appearing as a result of the forming and dissolution of the various and sundry false kingdoms. Some knots are of major proportions beyond our wildest imaginings, And on a few, we have still only scratched the surface. Dang. These major knots are over parts of Central Europe and the Mid and Far East. As yet, North America is free of all but minor knots. And those in South America, while numerous, are quite small. Let's watch this. Let's see who they fighting with. By far, the largest and most vexatious of these numerous kingdoms of formed through the malevolent will of Triestis, who took dominion over an area extending several thousand miles square in Central Europe, but primarily focusing attention on the area now known as Germany. Remember why they was always telling you that Hitler was clairvoyant, that he was getting downloaded messages, talking to the real society and all that stuff? Come to find out, it's real. Triestis inspired Hitler. How Hitler? The nigga inspired Hitler, which had been the place of his birth over 1700 years previous. So around 1st century AD, this man lived and died named Triestis. Triestis goes on to be a subservient god of the false god Luamon. But he rose up to a level where he, felt he could do his own thing. Once Luamon, the false Christ, took a hit, Triestis stepped up and inspired Hitler in this same manner. Right? What was his trick? What was his claim to fame? How did he get him to buy in, though? Right? So, mind you, the God that's inspiring Hitler is only 1700 years old. His pop was a living, breathing, stinking man. Triestis, he's probably Roman and European. Maybe a little Greece. He's musty. But now he's inspiring Hitler. This is the games we play, y'all. This is what's going on in the spiritual world that they ain't even telling us about. This is what religion hide. He getting duped by a nigga in the heavens 1700 years. That's it. His popular attraction was largely due to his ability to exploit the selfish interests of his followers and their hatred for those whose heritage was unfamiliar or did not conform to their religious preferences, aka Jewish, or anybody for that fact. Right? If it was unfamiliar, didn't conform with what they was talking about, you know what I mean? They had a hate for it. And out of that singleness of mind, he was able to breed up a nation of people in the same way. Watch this. Hold on. Oh, y'all see that? Huh? Y'all see that? That these include the hosts of the Algonquin nation? All right. Yeah, all right. All right, Cosmo. We ain't got no American Indian stuff in here. All right. Okay. Okay, this is where we was at. Let's go back and read a little more. By far the largest and most vexatious of these Dang, man, this thing is acting stupid. All right, hold on. Let me get this. Okay, here we go. By far the largest and vexatious of these numerous kingdoms was formed through the malevolent will of Triestus, who took dominion over the Hitler and them niggas in Germany. Which had been his place of birth. He was born in Germany 1700 years prior, so around 100 to 1st century AD. His popular attraction was to teach racism, prejudice, and hatred. This is how he got the Germans to buy in, through racism, right? His ability to influence, right? His popular attraction was largely due to his ability to exploit the selfish interests of his followers and their hatred for those whose heritage was unfamiliar or did not conform to their religious preferences. His ability to influence a highly mediumistic mortal and manipulate the masses until his pawn was raised to a position of dictator is evident in our mortal history. So we talking about Hitler and all them. He gives you a great piece of insight right here that Hitler was a medium. He was able to manipulate Hitler and the masses, right? Through his doctrine of selfish interest and hate or racism, he galvanized the nation of people where he was born in. So even in the early Germanic tribes, they was hating on niggas. Damn. It's crazy. Now look, this is where my sis come in. This is where her question come in at. Because now we see other people splitting off. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's see what's going on in the Far East and let's see what's going on in the Middle East. Who is there in the Middle East today? Why they banging? Right? Yisgao, whose dominion was over the Far East, China, Southeast India, the China, Mongolia, Japan, all that stuff, right? Formed an alliance with Triestus. Didn't Japan rock with Germany? Yisgao, whose dominion was over the Far East, formed an alliance with Triestus due to their common interest for conquest, and war soon ensued in the heavens and the earth. Triestus was eventually engulfed in the hell of his own making shortly before the fall of Berlin on the mortal plane, while Yisgao, being more resourceful and clever, escaped the chaos when his dominions fell in Japan, and he escaped to the land across the sea in East Asia, where he has continued to be a discordant influence throughout those countries to this day. China. Just as who? Michael. Who? Y'all been hearing about Michael? The Archangel Michael. That's your Allah. Watch this. Just as Michael continues to be in the Middle East. Regarding conditions just described, our purpose, or that of the High Council at this time, is to forcefully contain the activities of any of these false kingdoms. Wait a minute. Regarding the conditions just described, our purpose or that of the High Council at this time is not to forcefully contain the activities of any of these false gods, but to provide an example and viable alternative to those souls who are of a high enough grade to distinguish the differences between their kingdoms and our free heavens, where growth and knowledge are offered instead of lies and tyranny. We also occupy much time dissolving the endless new form knots, as well as continuing the long, complex, and dangerous task of removing the layers of tangled souls over the major knots in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. The task of curtailing the detrimental activities of Yisgal, Michael, and the numerous other sources of disbelief in the I am will be the task of the Etherians, who will begin the dismemberment, the dismemberment of the lower heavens, along with the setting, the foundation of the new dispensation coming in what? What year? 153 after Cosmon. Anybody want to tell me what year that is? Everybody should know what year that is. Huh? Per the timetables of prophecy, what year did this start? Come on, y'all. Hit me in the chat. Can't sit by early in the morning not just thinking. If think about it, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help everybody out. If it started in the year 153 AK, means after Cosmon, and Cosmon started in 1848, right? And it's the 153rd year of the Cosmon era, or after Cosmon. If you start in 1848, what year, if you add 153, is this year that they said this thing starts? Come on, y'all. I didn't ask you when Cosmon started. I'm asking you, when is the 153rd year after Cosmon? Come on. Come on, y'all. Give me the date. What is the 153rd year after 1848? Is it that hard, y'all? Come on. It's simple math. What year did the high etheric light start raising? It's going to make sense to you once you do the math. Once you do the math, you're going to say, oh, that makes sense. This and this happened all that year. Come on. Thank you, Jamia. 2001. Anybody want to just think back? We're not going to go into it. Any major events happen in 2001, y'all? You ain't got to say nothing. Just want y'all to think on it. Any major events happen in? Let me go down here. I want to bring up your boy. Look, watch this. Remember all that alien stuff they was talking about and all that? Watch what was really going on. Now, I think I'll go back up and read it a little more. Watch this. By this we mean not the ability to communicate, as was the case in the first year of Cosmon, but quality and quantity of communication. They're talking about spirit interaction. But anyway, for the channels of discourse between our realms higher realm and the lower realm, living and dead niggas, spirit and flesh, right? Of our realms and your realms have been noticeably lacking for many decades, but individuals with the talent to see and to hear spiritually have been born and are being born in greater numbers. And those talents will become more evident as the earth plane spiritual activities increases during the next decade in conjunction with the events previously described. Now watch this, y'all. Look particularly for the increase in psychic activity amongst those born in the vicinity of 100 years after Cosmon. I'm telling you, them the first people who started being named. That whole generation. Why? We learning why they special. These are 100 years after 1848 is 1948, correct? Same year they supposed to have been seeing aliens come down and all this stuff. It's the first year we get baby boomers. These your first fully clicked on people. And between that generation, between 1948 and 1981, you the first generation of fully Cosmon, right? You are fourth generationally in Cosmon, right? Fourth, but you're the full Cosmon. You turned on. They call us Blu-rays, rainbows, Generation X, baby boomers, all that coming from 1948 to 1981. The very first Cosmon children. After that, remember that all these forecasted events begin to occur. Right? After the war ends in 1948. Think it's just the game that it ended then? Remember that these forecasted events will begin to occur. They will not immediately be evidenced on your plane or in corporeality, but we can see back in time now. It's been 24 years since 2021 and the 2001 plane crashes, all that stuff. It's been 24 years since then. So we can look back into the 90s, into the 80s, to the 70s, to the 60s, 40s, 50s, you know what I mean? To look back and see if what Oahspe is bringing out is in fact true. Hindsight being 2020, right? Not that they're writing themselves back into time. They're telling about events that happen in the future that are that are far past us, but happened. Giving us the ability to look back on it with 2020 vision and clarity. That's the dopeness about the O. Remember that these forecasted events begin to occur. They would not immediately be evidence on your plane in corporeality, except through the eyes of those with suis and the ability to receive our communications. First events occur in the spirit realm, and in time effects down on the corporeal plane. But for as above, so below, but not necessarily simultaneously. It is for these events that your Cosmon day touched on elsewhere shall arise. I want to see. Hold on. Okay. Now they asking the questions about the god, the Asian god, Tien, and the Middle Eastern musty camel god, Michael, aka Winta, aka Yeshua. Here go yo Yeshua. Oh, don't tell him Yeshua is Michael, is the false Allah. So wait a minute. All you Hebrews that's been praising Yeshua really been praising the Islamic God in disguise. Watch this. What you, Cosman, what you say? You almost made me spill this. Yeah, Cosman. What you say? Nigga? Yeah. Yo, Yeshua. Oh, Yeshua. Yahamasha. Shima, shama, shama, shama. Yeah, him. AKA Michael. Huh? This is why they always tying them together. Huh? It's really your false Allah. This is why the NOI rock with Jesus. So watch it, because I'm gonna show you this nigga Michael wasn't no hoe. He came to America. Watch this. Now watch this. Can you tell us some more about Yisgal and Michael? Watch this. Winta, or Michael, as he is preferred to be called, has been most ambition to broaden the sphere of his influence on more than one portion of the planet. Watch this. His efforts for aggrandizement in the Middle Eastern area have been a significant factor in the expansion of mortal conflicts in that area. So understand that the Islamic God that is dominating Israel right now is the same God that got Iran war. So the Yeshua Christ of Israel today, Palestine, and the Allah of Iran, the same God. He's getting the people to destroy themselves on purpose so he can enslave them on earth and enslave them in the heavens. The dirty trick. They've been doing this forever. They showed you in the movies that even Zeus and all them was playing with the lives of men like they was pawns, like they were chess pieces, moving them around and playing one side against the whole point is to who kills off their people wins. It's the crazy part. Owaspy gives us stories of that with Ball and Ashtaroth. Why you think they were so tight? They was homies. They was competing like you compete with your homie. Oh, yeah. The God, let this sink in. The God of Israel and them Jews and the God of Iran is the exact same God. Playing both sides against the middle, trying to wipe out both sides. Winta, or Michael, as he is preferred to be called, has been most ambitious to broaden his spheres of influence on the planet. His efforts for aggrandizement in the Middle East area have been a significant factor in the expansion of mortal conflicts in that area. Do we have any conflicts in the Middle East today? Hit me with a 1 in the chat if we got some conflict in the Middle East today. Primarily by using his influence, listen, to fuel mortal conflicts without partiality in favor of either side. Why? So that the maximum damage might be inflicted. It's the same God. That ain't creator. That ain't good. You see why you feel so bad and icky about the Iran-Israel war? Because you're watching a play, a scam, where people's life are the bargaining chips. He playing both sides in the Middle East, fueling mortal conflicts without partiality. I don't care if Israel win. I don't care if Iran win. I don't care if Syria win. I want it all wiped out. Why? Because when I wipe these niggas out, you can bring some more people in and start the conflict again. Give a damn about y'all. Allah don't give a fuck about his people. The God of the Jews, who is Yahweh, Yeshua, Elohim, whatever you want to call him, El Adonai, whatever you want to call him, that's all Wenta, aka Michael. And you're aka duped. See these niggas? You see them? See how the guys be having them looking stupid? But they'll kill each other over that shit, over these books, over some ideology. You dummies. In some ways, I kind of wish Michael would win and just both of y'all would just wipe each other out. We wouldn't even have to worry about you. That's selfish. That's mean. It is. It's mean. So but it's real. This is stupid. The chaos that results increases the ease with which he can control an area. And of course, increases the number of ignorant souls placed under his oppressive dominion. What you're bound to here on earth, you're bound to in the heavens. Look, his ability to contrive events in his favor had been an important factor in the precipitation of the Egyptian-Israeli conflicts until the imbalance of power became too great and losing interest caused him to turn his attention towards more lucrative spoils. Where's the most richest lands for real? It ain't Africa. The land of milk and honey is in America. Watch this. This is one guy, one false god doing all this. His efforts to instill the maximum mortal damage has been much more effective in Lebanon, Iran, Iraq. This is in the 2000s. Remember, they got this download in 84. Wasn't no Iraq war. So he's telling about a future event we now looking back up 25 years on, seeing these niggas was right. His taste for anarchy, hold on, because we ain't done. His taste for anarchy, however, has taken a toll on the unity of his own kingdoms. Ain't that old Islamic shit breaking up? You got ISIS, ISIL, all that shit. You got Sunni, Shia. You dig what I'm talking about? This is why he pumped that up. He pumped Sunni Shia so they could kill each other. All from their own God. The whole Egyptian-Israeli thing. We gonna have peace treaties. And while you going for a peace treaty, the Jews came in, IDF, and bombed, wiped Egypt out. Come on, man. Tricky shit. Now you know why. His efforts to instill maximum mortal damage has been much more effective in Lebanon, ghost town, Iran, ghost town, and Iraq, ghost town. Right? Iran ain't all the way right. His taste for anarchy, however, has taken a toll on the unity of his own kingdoms, resulting in many of his more charismatic followers, abandoning his aid and starting their own little ISISes and ISILs. Harambe. Starting to see it play out, y'all. Abandoning his aid and starting their own kingdoms, just like he did, in close proximity to his, which has further aided the proliferation of conflict in those regions. Michael has been perceptive enough to see that his own security could become precarious as he planned to risk all on his bid for control of the Mideast Holy Lands. Consequently, as a ploy to provide a secure haven, should those plans fail and force him to make a hasty retreat, listen, he endeavored to establish a small community in the relative stability of North America. Wait a minute. What Islamic group came in mass in the early 1900s, 10s, 20s, 30s to the 40s, right? What major Islamic group popped up in the Americas from the time of the First World War to the Second World War? Huh? Can anybody drop that in the chat? What major Islamic group popped up on the scene in between 1920 and 1950, or let's just say 1919 to 1948, that's Islamic, that's in North America? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What group of Islamic people claiming to be Islamic popped up in between the 1920s and the 1950s talking about they Islamic in North America? Nigga, the Nation of Islam. The Moorish Science Temple of America. Come on, y'all. Come on. Huh? Listen, did the Moors pop up between early 1900s and the 1950s talking about Islam? Yes. Did the Nation of Islam pop up between the 1920s and the 50s with a prophet talking about Islam? Yes. Huh? Modern day Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple worship. Huh? All that stuff that come out of the Canaanite church and all that stuff, all Islamic. Why? He endeavored to the false god Michael, aka Michael, aka Winta, aka Michael or Yeshua, also known today as Allah. As a ploy to provide a secure haven, just in case something went wrong over there in the Middle East. He established a small community in North America, in the United States. How do you know it was going to work? Because he's seeing the success of Paya. Also one of the under gods of the false god Christ, aka Luamang. So Winta with a new Paya, Sayawan, also underling of the false god Christ, aka Luamang. He would have known Winta or Michael too. So, having seen the success of his own homeboys, he wanted to get a little piece over here too. He set up shop on another block where it was relatively cool because niggas from where he from had already came over there and set up shop. So the people of the area, they ain't looking too crazy, you know what I mean? They ain't. You see what I'm saying? So when you can expose that BS behind it, it start to hit. You start to look at these news reports and all that stuff different, because I know the mind of what's backing you, right? And I know in the end of the day, it's leading towards war. How do we know? Because the whole point was him to drum up shit for y'all to kill each other. He's seen the success of his homeboys who he knew. This is your Jehovah of the Mormons and the Latter-day Saints. Joseph Smith and all them. BYU. Brigham Young. They got inspired by a false god named Paya, who said he was the true Christ, inspired the Mormons, the Lamanites, and the Nephites, and all that. That's Paya. The fake Allah knew the fake Jehovah. Let that sink in. This is Sayawan. He just took the name. This is your Baptist God. This your Universalist God. This your AME Church God. All your black churches. This is your Swedenborg. Anybody who prays the Lord. All that Lord. This is why they praise the Lord. God, you got to get to the upper room. You got to get to the upper room. You got to get to the upper room. Got to get, all that. That's Sayawan. All that heavy breathing. Oh, yeah, that's Sayawan. Another fake nigga under a fake nigga who learned from a fake nigga. So Allah, aka Michael Winta Yeshua, watched his big bros, two other fake niggas, the fake Jehovah and the fake Lord, who learned at the feet of the fakest of them all, that nigga on that nag. Remember Revelations 19:11? It's a nigga riding a horse out the sky. That's Luamon. That's the fake God that all of these niggas can learn from. This is why he gonna be the most hated. It don't make sense till you break it down like this and you learn the backstory behind this shit. And you start to see what's happening in 2025. Don't make no sense for these people to just be randomly shooting. Yes, it do. Once you learn the whole point is for them to kill each other, and that their God wants them to do, and it's the same. Oh snap! It's the same God on both sides that want them to kill each other. Follow me, I am the God of thy ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He ain't do them niggas no good. He ain't do them niggas no favors when he gave them instructions. Yeah, go up that mountain and fight Benjamin. See what happened to you. Stop listening to anybody whose final income is or outcome is to pick up a sword. Pick up a gun. Let's get a bomb. I heard somebody say something stupid. Black people need a nuclear weapon. No, we don't. You dick. No. What you don't understand, we have always dropped light bombs, right? Light bombs. We raise them up. We don't break them down. We give them life. We don't give them death. Now, having seen the success of the Jehovah Witness God and the Baptist Church God, this nigga said, well, look, man, I think I can dupe some of these niggas over here in America. Let me bring this white boy from over here. Farad. Yeah, bring Farad over here. He gonna dupe this other nigga. Now, listen, this is why you gotta understand why it's so powerful. Why it worked. It's because it really was a false angelic being speaking to these niggas. They wasn't lying. They was listening to what this fake ass God said, and he was telling them shit. Yes, Elijah wasn't lying on Farrar. Farrar wasn't lying. Noble Jew Ali wasn't lying. No, they seen what they seen. They had the experiences that they did. How would he get y'all niggas to understand that? He wouldn't. He would just give you doctrine. Remember, to gain knowledge first, you must fear the Lord. You gotta fear him first. That's the trick, y'all. Because when you scared and you in fight or flight mode, you know what you're not doing? You're not rationally thinking. You're not logically thinking because you're scared. Lose fear, gain power. Why he come over here? Having seen the success of Payah and Sayawan and others, he determined to provide his own revelation, which was successfully accomplished and has provided a modest following for him over the past several decades on this side of the globe. Again, the High Council has chosen not to interfere in this aspect of his activities. Why? First of all, he has free will to do what he want to do. They could have stopped it, but he has free will to do what he want to do. Secondly, there was benefit to what he was bringing in from the Nation of Islam. How many people from the Nation of Islam, they done got up out the streets, turned them into good men, clean, sober men? You dig what I'm talking about? It's something about that structure. You dig what I'm talking about? That's good for men, certain men. It make them better men. teach them how to be businessmen, teach them how to, be family men. So there was benefits that came out of the structure that and I think it was allowed to happen because our people needed it. You can say what you want to about it. You dig what I'm talking about? Yes, it's from a false god, but Islam did a lot of good too. Yeah, Christianity from a false god, true. And it did a lot of bad. It did a lot of good too. It has its benefits. You know what I mean? So you just can't throw the baby out with the bathwater all the time. But just this time though, you gotta recognize that ain't a baby no more. That's a musty grown, stinking man in the bathtub. Yeah. You got to get up out of here. Ain't no Jeebus in the manger, baby. Baby Jeeba. Baby Jeeba. Baby Jeeba in the manger, y'all. Ain't no more baby Jeeba. We kicking this musty nigga up off his bed. Get up. Huh? See, the High Council chose not to even interfere with this nigga. Why? They had to have some benefit in it. Just like the same reason Jaja let Lil Mom, Kabalaktis, Inochisa, and Gabrielle start their religions. Why? Because they were doing the creator a favor. Because in establishing their religions, they knocked off an even worse one. So even your evil deeds gonna be appropriated for good. Jaja dope. This is why I'm saying, how could somebody war with your creator? And understand that Israel and Iran warring with itself. Because your God is having you kill each other. See? It's crazy. Crazy. That they don't want to tell you that part though. They don't want to tell you that part about the game. Oh no, they don't want to tell you nothing about that part. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I ain't heardable neither. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't about to walk me nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, what's down that long, dark corridor, Cosmon? Ooh, let me go see, but you never get me to fall for the okie doke. No, sir. I feel you. Especially, Ali, I feel you. Yeah. I'm not sheepable. You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't him. You dig what I'm saying? I rock with the gang, but hey, we not no punks and pushovers. That's not what we do. Let me see if we can get into some of what this nigga was talking about. Now, listen to the deck, because they trying to play holier than thou on both sides. None of them right. And then remember, they got a little demon on their shoulder. Nigga, hey, nah, say this. Take a shot like this. American. Oh, you're right. Remember, he got somebody goading him, putting a battery in his spiritual back. He can't say nothing good. Let's look at the Ayatollah. Let's see what the Ayatollah got to say real quick, man. If y'all getting a little something up out of this, hit me with some tools in the chat. Hit me with some fire emojis. We gonna cook. You dig what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, you know what? I think we should leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. That was enough right there. Just, something is telling me, leave it there. Don't give them no more. Let them digest on the fact that the same God, right, or that the God of Israel and the God of Iran is the same God, and they're having both of his people kill themselves on purpose. I don't think there's nothing else I need to say. I don't think there's nothing else I need to say. What do you say? Man, I'm just glad my big chief wear the golden crown. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to all them Indians out there. Big old Indy. Big old Indy. Come on. Give it up to the white. Get that light in. Oh, hey, my big chief. Oh, go. Oh, a big Indian business early in the morning. Big Indian business, huh? Big Anaquakaiki, huh? Hey, big chief got a sword, friend.